Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Follow the leader. Following the leader.
Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Shine, flies, no time to waste while it's passing you by. Shine, flies, be patient, cause good things happen in time. We gon' get it right, we gon' get it right, we gon' get it right. We gon' get it right.
Protests and anthems, yes, we chanting. A movement of people, it's like we dancing to the ministry of. It's the energy of, in memory of them that we love. The trinity of the people, the peace, the power, the truth. We speak the powers even louder. We can say it blacker, we can say it prouder. A woman vice president that went to Howard. Now we talk helping black businesses, and our differences is magnificent. Bringing light to the point where the business is. I was told good life is where forgiveness lives. The ascension is to leave what's left behind and feed the seeds with deeds that bless the mind, caress the mind, and question justify. With you and God in time, I best align.
Shine, flies, no time to waste while it's passing you by. Shine, flies, be patient, cause good things happen in time. We gon' get it right, we gon' get it right. We gon' get it right. We gon' get it right.
How can I be a better father, son, a better grandson, honoring Fannie Lou's and the Fred Hamptons, the Harriets, the chariots that carry us to various areas that marry us to progress. Yeah, we the harvest, the lovely days and midnight marauders, even through charges and days of darkness.
You are listening to and streaming a More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai, your host and White House correspondent. I'm in touch until you be in touch. Follow me on all the social media platforms at Dr. Nii-Quartelai. Just type in Dr. Nii-Q, DRNIIQ, and Dr. Nii-Quartelai pops right on up, fresh for you to follow. Also, download the KBLA app to listen to us live or on demand, or simply tell Alexa to play KBLA Talk 1580, and there we are for your listening pleasure. Last but not least, subscribe to a More Perfect Union podcast, powered by KBLA Talk 1580, the only Black-owned and operated talk station west of the Mississippi. Now, listen, you all have a few invitations. One is to our fast approaching set of events that are happening leading into Juneteenth. Our KBLA Talk 1580 4th anniversary events are fast approaching, and seating at all 4 of our special events is getting tight. And so be sure to register at our KBLA1580.com website. If not, let me encourage you, if you haven't already, to stop what you're doing right now. Just go ahead and do it right now so you don't get left out. It's our 4th anniversary, people. It's our 4th anniversary, and we want to celebrate it with you. If you're planning to join us for our 4th anniversary celebration and barbecue on the Juneteenth holiday, we're asking everyone to bring a food gift card of any amount for the victims of the Altadena fire. Grocery store chain or restaurant cards are just fine. We're grateful for whatever you can bring to help the families that are still displaced, by the wildfires. So go to our KBLA1580.com website and get it done right now. And sign up for the events that you plan to attend. And please note that all of our anniversary events are free, but seating is limited, so you got to register. Thanks in advance for doing so. Now, it's time for your national news roundup. It's time for you to decide the good, the bad, and the ugly headlines of the day. Kicking us off, fury and resignation around the world over Trump's travel ban. NBC News reporting that countries across the world were in shock today after President Trump announced a travel ban on nationals from over a dozen countries. Yeah. I mean, it's wild. Over a dozen countries. And he also announced the cancellation of visa programs for 7 more. For many, the move seemed like a return to the 2017 Trump, where he presided over some of the most controversial policies. Trump cited national security and terrorism concerns as motivating factors behind the ban on nationals, largely from, that's right, you guessed it, Africa and Asia, triggering reactions from representatives of those countries, from weary diplomacy to downright anger. Chad, a country in Central Africa that's among the countries that have been hit with the travel ban, quickly issued a reciprocal restriction on issuing visas to U.S. citizens. Remember that Trump's new order affects a patchwork of 19 countries. 19 countries, some of them banned from, they're banned for the first time for reasons that don't check out. Reasons just don't check out. And so the chaos continues. Moving along, Jane testifies that Diddy threatened her if she refused sex with another man. NBC also reporting this. This is really what we know about the sex trafficking trial as of late. Diddy was almost removed from the courtroom today for attempting to interact with jurors. Judge Arun Subramanian angrily admonished the defense team and demanded that Combs stop making faces at the jury or else he would be kicked out of court. Rihanna Bongolan, a friend of Combs and former girlfriend of Cassie Ventura, returned to the stand today for more questions about her claims that Combs dangled her over a 17-story balcony in 2016 before he threw her onto the balcony furniture. Combs' defense repeatedly called into question Bongolan's account of the alleged balcony incident, at one point directly accusing her of lying to the jury. A woman using the pseudonym Jane also took the stand today. She said that she was in a romantic relationship with Combs from 2021 to 2024. Jane provided graphic details about hotel nights when she said Combs would arrange for her to have drug-fueled sex with another man as he watched. The details of the hotel nights are nearly identical to what Ventura referred to as freak-offs. Jane said that she did not want to participate in the hotel nights, but that Combs would threaten her financially if she refused. Combs faces five criminal counts, 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs has vociferously denied the allegations against him. When we come forward, we are switching gears, and I'm really delighted to welcome to the show writer and director Nathan Hale Williams. We're going to be talking about his latest project, Come Together, Art's Power for Change. And then a little bit later, we're going to talk about his Rejection regimen. I saw him post this on his Substack not too long ago, and I knew when I stumbled upon it that I wanted to have Nathan on the show to talk us through it. Because right now there are a lot of folks across the country and around the world that are having their own experience with rejection. I talk to a lot of federal workers here in Washington, D.C. day to day that are coping with their situation, and that includes feelings of rejection. And so we're going to learn about his rejection regimen a little bit later. But when we come forward, we welcome Nathan Hale Williams to the show. You're listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast. Oh my God. But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice Plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Took the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DePrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
We love you. Love you.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Charmin Ultra Strong. You can use less, better than the rest. Charmin Ultra Strong. Your booty past the clean test. Salmon weave texture, it's the best. Study up, teach a lesson on fresh. Your booty past the clean test. Yes, sir. Charmin Ultra Strong.
Charmin Ultra Strong with diamond weave texture cleans better than the leading one-ply brand, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
We have no permanent friends or permanent enemies. Only permanent interests. As we effort to build a more perfect union.
I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though, ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this, it's born like this, immaculate conception. Not transform like this, perform like this, wish out you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that puts the kids to bed. This that I got realness, I just kill.
We all love a little bit of Kendrick Lamar. You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai, your host, and I'm really delighted to welcome my friend Nathan Hale Williams to the show. He's the director of Come Together, Art's Power for Change. And let me tell you, this film is already creating quite a bit of buzz the 2025 American Black Film Festival announced their official narrative and documentary features lineup. And guess which film was in the midst? This film right here. And I'm so glad that its director has made the time to join us. Welcome to the show, Nathan.
Thank you, good doctors. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Happy Thursday. And I'm excited about the film and to talk about that. And more importantly, I'm excited to talk about the Rejection RX.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So first things first, congratulations is in order. I mean, American Black Film Festival is nothing to snuff at. It is very competitive, and you all clearly are leading the pack. Talk to us about this film, Come Together, Art's Power for Change. What is it about, and what drew you to it?
Well, the American Black Film Festival feels like home for me. This is my fourth film at ABFF. As I say, the film is such a great celebration of Black filmmakers and filmmakers across the Black and Brown diaspora. And it's a full circle moment because Come Together, Art's Power for Change has a dual role, right? So it's about the making of our film, Dirty Laundry, which was written and directed by the late, great Maurice Jamal. And that film, Dirty Laundry, 20 years ago, won the American Black Film Festival for Best Picture, and Loretta Devine won for Best Actor. And so the documentary is about the making of it, but more importantly than just the making of the film, the third act is really a call to action to storytellers and creators and filmmakers now to use their voices to talk about what's going on in our times. I believe that film, art, and entertainment have a way of providing information and creating empathy in a way that other things just do not. And if we needed more empathy and we needed more information and understanding and more love, now is the time that we need it. And so, like I said, it has a dual role of honoring Maurice and our legacy from Dirty Laundry, but also calling to action storytellers of today to use their voices.
And talking about the, pulling together storytellers of today, I just want to zero in on Black storytellers. I want to give you an opportunity to share with us sort of the unique value from your vantage point as a writer-director, the unique value that Black storytellers bring to an industry that seems to be convulsing, an industry where independent filmmakers have found it increasingly hard to get the financing that they need, to get the distribution that they need. Talk to us about the state of the industry, particularly for Black filmmakers.
So, this is actually, it's an exciting time, I think, for Black filmmakers and filmmakers that are on the margins, right? Because the traditional studio system, the traditional gatekeeping is collapsing right before our eyes. And at the same time, with the advent of social media and these powerful things we hold in our hand every day, these computers, you can literally create anything you want with your phone, right? And then you don't have to wait for someone to greenlight you to get that content out there. So it has democratized content creation in a way that I think opens the door for more Black stories. And also people aren't going to the traditional spaces and places that they used to consume content. So I actually look at this as an opportunity, right? I actually look at it as an exciting time, specifically for Black creators. We've always saved this industry. If you think about the 1970s with the blaxploitation film, if you look at the history of that and how that drove people back to the theaters, and you look at something like Sinners, which is now the highest grossing original film of all time, it's Black creators, and you look at networks like UPN and CW and Fox, who were launched off the backs of Black creators. This is the time, as Toni Morrison says, this is the time when we get to work. And this is the time, I think, where more and more power will be afforded to us Black creators and Black storytellers.
It may seem counterintuitive to some folks, but talk to us about the types of stories, the genre of stories that have an opportunity in this moment that maybe they didn't have an opportunity in years prior, in part because, our country has evolved, our culture has evolved. At least I still think it has, because if it didn't, there wouldn't be forces out there working so hard to push back and to erase our progress. But talk about opportunities that you see that folks might be overlooking when it comes to storytelling among folks on the margins.
So if you look at history, so I love history, right? I wouldn't call myself a history buff, but the reason why I am not as anxious about these times is because I do have a working knowledge of history. And there was a time after the Reconstruction period called the Nadir. And I may not be pronouncing it correctly, Nadir. And during that time, and right after that time, we had the Harlem Renaissance. And so every time there's been a push back, then we've seen an amplification, particularly of Black and marginalized voices, particularly creators, because it is the artists, the creators, the storytellers that bring us out of these times. And so I'm excited because if you look at history, this is when artists get to work, like, again, what Toni Morrison says. And so I see it as an opportunity because, if you remember President Barack Obama's tenure, and then towards the end of his presidency, there was all this talk about living in a post-racial society. And like, we did not need to— racial society. Right, exactly. So one thing that this time has been clear about is that we are not anywhere near a post-racial society. And so there is a need for us to hone in and hamper down and focus on our history, because they're trying to erase our history. And so you have a movie like Sinners that intertwines our history into the storytelling. You have a Beyonce that has illuminated the Black cowboy and the Black people's contributions to country music. You have Kendrick Lamar, who you were playing on the come-in, on the intro, who took the time of the Super Bowl to enlighten, to subversively have conversations about Blackness and media and our history. This is the time when we get to work, and there's nobody going to tell you, we're living in a post-racial society. You don't need to talk about Blackness. No one's going to tell you that right now.
I mean, I love how you connected the dots there, and we must have been connected last night on some wavelength, because I was having dinner with some friends, and we were having a similar conversation. And the last question we asked one another is like, what's giving you hope? What's giving you hope? And my answer to that question is, when you look back at history, look back 100 years from now, or I'm sorry, 100 years ago. 100 years ago, we had the Tulsa race massacre. Took place in 1921. We had what many historians would call a crook for president, President Harding. We had corporations sort of run amok. And we had deregulation. We ended the decade with the Wall Street crash. But in the midst of that, to the point that you made, we also had the Harlem Renaissance. And the art and culture and literature that came out of that period, it still continues to feed us. It still continues to feed the consciousness of folks across this country and around the world. And I really believe in my heart of hearts that, we are sort of the next iteration of that. And so when you say this is the time we get to work, right? If we just follow the blueprint of our ancestors, I can't see how we would arrive at any other conclusion.
I mean, no notes, 100% ditto. And we've always bounced back, right? Our people, I'm a big tennis fan. Tennis is my favorite sport. And I think the French Open is going on right now. Let's go, Coco. I think there's a thing about resiliency over the stands at the French Open at Roland Garros, and I don't know another people that exhibit resiliency better than Black folks, right? And they've tried, they've burned down our cities, they've taken away when we get ahead, they try to keep us back. And going back to someone like President Obama, I think that we do not really put enough weight behind what that means. For all intents and purposes, President Obama comes from a 10 to 12% minority. I don't like that word minority, but in this country, in terms of the numbers, that doesn't happen anywhere else. This is the first time that that's happened in the UK with their prime minister, but that has never happened before anywhere else. So America has all of its problems. It's a very young country, but I'm very hopeful because Black people will always bounce back.
Amen, amen, amen to that. When we come forward, I am looking forward to getting your point of view on a headline in the news that's getting a lot of attention. I'm sure you have heard about Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, his decision to review the names that are on these naval vessels and quite frankly remove them. We're talking about the names of civil rights leaders like Harvey Milk, like John Lewis, like Medgar Evers. Well, Sean Penn and Dustin Lance Black had a little something to say about the erasure of those heroes. I want to share that with you and also get your take on this headline that is making us all cringe. You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. More with Nathan Hale Williams, the director of Come Together, Arts Power for Change. If you want to check it out, you just got to take yourself to the American Black Film Festival that is right around the corner. You'll have a chance to see that and more. You're listening to and streaming KBLA Talk 1580.
The audience is listening, thought-provoking, eye-opening, heart-rendering. This is where authentic voices meet powerful discussions on culture, community, and change. This is where Black voices matter. He's breaking boundaries, amplifying diverse perspectives, and tackling the issues that matter most to you. You're inside A More Perfect Union with Dr. Nii-Quartelai on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Orleans Parish escapee Antoine Massey, who is Black, is still on the run after slipping through a jail wall. He posted a video claiming his innocence, but Governor Jeff Landry dismissed it and urged him to, quote, stop playing hide and seek, end quote. Massey's mom and pastor are urging him to turn himself in.
If you do nothing else, do this for Mom, and I promise you, with every breath in my body that God give me, we're going to fight this out the right way.
A $50,000 reward is still being offered. Black Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson has plans to reinstate a 1% grocery tax removed from the state's budget. He says it's not new, just shifting collection to cities. And the FBI has joined the investigation into a weekend attack at Pike's Pub in Fort Wayne, Indiana. A Black man was beaten by white men wearing outlaw vests. The Department of Justice says the Outlaws Motorcycle Club is linked to criminal activity. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Valencia delays on the 5 southbound. That's where traffic loads up, leaving Rye Canyon Road pretty heavy ahead all the way to Lyons Avenue. And we're also looking at Calabasas 101 southbound delays from Las Virgenes. You're on the brakes all the way into downtown Los Angeles with pocket delays as you make your way through the Cahuenga Pass. Santa Monica 10 eastbound loading up from just about 20th Street. You're on the brakes all the way to the 5 in Boyle Heights. And in Norwalk 605 northbound loading up from the 105 freeway all the way to the 10.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Coco Gauff moved closer to winning her second Grand Slam tennis championship. In the semifinals Thursday morning at the French Open, the 21-year-old African-American star defeated Lois Boisson of France in 2 sets, 6-1 and 6-2. Gauff, the number 2 seed in the French Open, will play for the championship Saturday morning against the number 1 seed, Aryna Sabalenka of Belarus. When Gauff was 19, she beat Sabalenka in 2023 to win the U.S. Open. If you want to see Gauff battle for the title, you're going to have to get up early or set your DVR. It's a 6 a.m. start LA time. TNT will have live coverage. The 2026 NBA All-Star Game, which will be played in Inglewood at the Intuit Dome, will have a format a lot of people have been asking for. Team America versus Team International. NBA players born in America against the NBA's foreign stars. More on this development tomorrow. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader. Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The State of the People Power Tour is not a moment, it's a movement. 11 cities, one mission. To organize with care, build with strategy, and remind ourselves that we have never needed saving. This Friday and Saturday, the State of the People Power Tour arrives in LA for its final stop. The State of the People Power Tour is not just a series of stops. It's a signal, a shift, a belief that power lies in the hands of everyday people, a belief that if we show up for each other, our communities will be stronger. Join us this Friday, June 6th in Los Angeles at the Seed School and on Saturday, June 7th at Pasadena City College. We need you in the room to link arms with neighbors and leaders from across the country to build something that will last, because we believe if we move together, we will rise together. For more information and to register, go to stateoftheppl.com and join us as we build a new nation where every voice matters.
Hit me! Next, informed opinion.
An analysis beyond the headlines.
You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Corte. He is the Nathan Hale Williams, director of Come Together, Arts Power for Change. If you are going to be in Miami for the American Black Film Festival, I don't know who you need to reach out to, but you may want to check out this film if you're looking for a dose of inspiration. This film is packed with it. Congratulations again to you, Nathan, and to the entire team that worked on Come Together, Arts Power for Change.
Thank you so much. We are super excited. And I will, if I can announce this, I'll be giving away some free tickets to the screening if you are in Miami next Thursday on my Instagram, which is Nathan H. Williams. And so if you're in the area and you want to come check out the American Black Film Festival, let us know, follow me on Instagram, and then check us out on Thursday, and we'll be giving away some free tickets.
Look at Nathan. Nathan for the win, giving out free tickets at the American Black Film Festival. I've always wanted to go, but for some reason, I've always had a conflict every year. And so I will be there with you in spirit, my friend. Really thrilled for you. But in other news, I want to get your hot take on this. It is Pride Month, and here in Washington, D.C., we are celebrating World Pride. And so this action by the U.S. Defense Secretary stings just a little bit more than usual. The timing of the decision to order the rename of the USNS Harvey Milk, christened in San Diego in 2021 for a prominent gay rights and Navy veteran, was a part of an internal memo that was leaked earlier this week. The Pentagon chief spokesperson confirmed the ship's new name will be announced after internal reviews are complete. Sean Penn, who won his second best actor Oscar for playing Harvey Milk, said in an email, short and sweet, "I've never before seen a Secretary of Defense so aggressively demote himself to the rank of Chief Petty Officer." Nathan, what say you?
Well, let me give you a little preface. I say let them, right? There is, Mel Robbins wrote this book. It was the first book I read this year, called Let Them, right? It's a very simple concept. And it really, but at the core of it is, you can't change anybody else's action. You can't only person you can control really is yourself. And a lot of times we get ourselves all worked up about other people's actions that we cannot control. I think that is so apropos to this situation, right? We know a lot of this is performative. We know a lot of this is shock and awe. This is what they do. This is what Donald Trump does for us to distract against that horrible budget that's going to take away healthcare from millions, that is stripping people of things like Head Start and just core services that we have come to depend on from the federal government. And it's the smoke and mirrors, right? So he knows that people are going to have an emotional reaction to them removing these names. Because did we forget that this is the same Secretary of Defense that leaked, defense plans on a social media app? I didn't forget, but this is, the shock and awe things, they don't get me upset because I know what they are. It's like, that old adage is like, I'd rather a train coming at me so I can move out the way. We know this is what they do. We know that this is their MO. And I say, do not get caught up in the emotional parts of it, right? Because they're going to keep doing this. And it really is to distract us. I used to say, George W. Bush had weapons of mass distraction, those WMDs we were looking for. But there is nobody that employs them better than Trump and his cronies and their incompetency. They want you to be mad about this, a name. It doesn't erase what Harvey Milk did. It doesn't erase what John Lewis did. In fact, it gives us a chance to highlight and tell people who Harvey Milk was. That movie, Milk, came out, 20 years ago or something. Now it's putting it back in the zeitgeist. Let's use that opportunity to tell people who Harvey Milk was, and that he was a veteran that fought for queer rights, and that, he was actually assassinated by someone. And let's tell these stories. Let's tell the stories of John Lewis. Let's not get caught up in these emotional WMDs that are meant to really take our eye off the prize, which is what they're doing to our government.
Yeah, I think that is terrific. And I think, listen, the whole idea of Let Them, the whole idea of that book, I think that is great food for thought. But you have some of your own ideas, including adopting a rejection regimen. And so I am minding my Black business, scrolling through Substack, and I stumbled upon your Substack, and I thought it was thought-provoking. And so share with us, what is Nathan Hale Williams' rejection regimen?
So I'll tell you how we got there, right? You know, I work in a business of no's. I work in entertainment, and you have to prime yourself for the no's, right? Because you're going to invariably get more no's than you get yeses. And, you know, the good thing is you only really need one yes, and that's the yes you say to yourself. It's not a yes from somebody else. And I always say that I greenlight myself. I don't wait for permission to do what I want to do. I greenlight myself. And so once I've greenlit myself, there's nothing that you can do to stop me from getting to the goal, right? But in the meantime, you really do have to develop a mechanism or I call it a prescription, an RX, for dealing with the rejections, because they do hurt. You are a human being, especially when it's something that you have poured your heart and soul into and someone rejects it. And so in my Substack, I break down mine and the first thing is acknowledging the emotional impact that it's taking on you. I do not believe in kind of making up this, that it didn't hurt or it doesn't mean anything. Acknowledge it. Move on from it. Do what you have to do. Sometimes I cuss them out in my head. Be like, Keke Palmer has it. She's like, that movie is not going to be good without me. Mine is, I'm from the South Side of Chicago. A good cuss out makes me feel good. And, we can't go around cussing people out in real life. So I just cuss them out in my head, or I call my mama. Or I call one of my besties and I'm like, you not believe this, da, 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 da. And you know what I mean? And get that emotional energy out of my system. And then I keep going. Because the no that you don't want to hear is the no you say to yourself. And so that is the only person that can stop you is you, right? And so my contract is with Nathan Hale Williams and God, and it is not with anybody else. And so and I also believe in this, and I don't know who said this is not mine. It might, I don't hear no anymore either. I hear not the right time, not the right person, or not the right opportunity. And, they always say, rejection is really redirection. And I've lived off almost half a century. And it'll be half a century next year. And that black don't crack. And I get that big black. But I've lived almost half a century, and I know that to be true by real life scenarios.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And so for all of our leaders, learners, and listeners out there that are grappling with rejection, I know here in Washington, D.C., where I'm at today, there are a lot of federal workers. There are a lot of folks who served in the former administration. There are people who have worked in the lobbying realm here in Washington, D.C., who have said to me that, wow, I feel like my life's work has just been scuttled. My life's work has just been ripped apart in a matter of the first 100 days or first 150 days of this administration. And so I want to give you an opportunity to share from your heart to theirs, pulling from your rejection regimen. What would you offer them?
I would say, just like they can't take away Harvey Milk's name, they can take Harvey Milk's name off of a ship craft. I don't know what you call them, airliner craft, but they can't take away Harvey Milk's name from the world, right, and from history. And so no one in 100 days can rip away your whole life's work. I would reframe that and say, that is the end of that chapter. Now I have energy to go do what's next, right? Within the confines of where we are now. Now I got to, like, again, Toni Morrison said, now I got to get back to work. So that might have put a period on that chapter, but it could never erase what you have done, because these people don't have that much power. We give them way too much power. People can only have as much power as you give them in your life, right? And I wouldn't give them that much power. I wouldn't even fathom somebody being able to, erase what I've done over these last 49 years. It's impossible for them to do that. They don't have that much power.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. I think you're right. And the surest way that folks in a time like this win is by creating this sense of inevitability. And when we give into that inevitability, right, that's what empowers them. I think it was Alice Walker who said that the fastest way that we give away our power is by first believing that we have none.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that I'm encouraged by now is that you see people popping up, acknowledging and exercising their power. It just happened in my hometown of Chicago when the ICE people were coming to do a raid and they were like, no, absolutely not. You're not going to do that here. And those armed ICE agents backed up. And it showed you how much power we really, really have just by using our voices and by saying, not on our watch, not on our dime, but not on our time, beloved, as Ayanla says, not on my watch, beloved. And so exercise your power, but first you must understand that you have it.
That's right. That's right. Our thanks to Nathan Hale Williams. He is the director of Come Together, Arts Power for Change. They will be making a big splash at the American Black Film Festival. If you want your chance to get some free tickets to that event, then all you got to do is follow Nathan Hale Williams on Instagram at what is it, Nathan?
Nathan H. Williams.
There it is. Easy enough to remember. Nathan H. Williams. Go ahead and follow him. And next Thursday, is it?
Next Thursday, I'll be giving away tickets.
There you have it. Our thanks to you. Congratulations, my friend. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you so much for having me. I would love to come back anytime.
Yeah, absolutely. You better come back. You better come back.
I will.
You're listening to it. A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. The quiet part out loud when we come forward.
Striving to make America a nation as good as its promise. This is A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm LA City Councilman Curran Price, inviting you to join us on Saturday, June the 14th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. as we cut the ribbon on the brand new Enel Woods Park at 8703 South McKinley Avenue. Thanks to a generous donation from Heal the Bay, the park features smart irrigation, stormwater capture systems, and space for local wildlife to thrive. And we've built a walking trail, picnic areas, native landscaping, and quiet spaces for families to gather, relax, and connect. This is part of a much larger effort to expand green spaces across South LA with 3 new parks in the works, a first-of-its-kind community center coming soon, and plans to connect it all through the South LA Greenway. So mark your calendar for Saturday, June 14th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and come celebrate a greener, stronger South LA at Enel Woods Park. I'm also pleased to sponsor the Climate Justice Plus Black Health Symposium, moderated by Tavis Smiley, live on C-SPAN, Wednesday, June the 18th, from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Nate Holden Performing Arts Center. Just a reminder to sign up right away at the KBLA1580.com website to join me, Mayor Karen Bass, Congresswoman Sidney Cumberland Dove, Tennessee State Representative Justin Pearson, Dr. Cornel West, former Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr., the Sierra Club's Ben Jealous, and other Black influencers in the climate and health fields, as we continue to amplify the connection between climate and poor health outcomes for our people. Thank you for listening. I'm Councilman Curran Price.
May 6th was World Asthma Day, and it's a critical time to raise awareness about your asthma. Did you know that Black Americans are approximately 5 times more likely than white Americans to visit the emergency department due to their asthma? Managing your asthma is possible with regular checkups, avoiding known triggers, using prescribed medications correctly, and creating an asthma action plan with your healthcare professional. An action plan is a personalized plan you create with your doctor that shows you what to do and what medications to take to help control your asthma when you're having a hard time breathing or having an asthma attack. Stay aware. Have a plan because your health matters. For more tips and resources on managing your asthma, visit luma-edu.com. luma-edu.com. This message is brought to you by Amgen and AstraZeneca.
The State of the People Power Tour is not a moment, it's a movement. 11 cities, one mission: to organize with care, build with strategy, and remind ourselves that we have never needed saving. This Friday and Saturday, the State of the People Power Tour arrives in LA for its final stop. Join us this Friday, June 6th in Los Angeles and on Saturday, June 7th in Pasadena. To register, go to stateoftheppl.com and join us as we build a new nation where every voice matters.
Notable journalists, industry leaders, lawmakers, change makers, tastemakers, and you working to build a more perfect union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Corte. Before we get to the quiet part out loud, I want to invite you all to join me this Saturday in Pasadena. I am really looking forward to being a part of the State of the People Power Tour. It's the State of the People Power Tour. I'll be at the Los Angeles and Pasadena stops, but join me on Saturday, June 7th in Pasadena. The series of conversations intended to build community, intended to organize, intended to provide some relief. Starts at 8:30 a.m. We'll run from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. On Saturday, January 7th at Pasadena City College, located at 1570 East Colorado Boulevard in Pasadena. In case you're wondering, well, what is the State of the People Power Tour? What is this about? It is a national nonpartisan campaign, and it's really focused around rallying, restoring, and reimagining possibilities for Black communities across the country. Each stop features community dialogue, like I said, cultural celebration, strategic action, mutual aid, and resource sharing. This tour has been in Alabama and Georgia and Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, New Jersey, North Carolina, and Virginia. Will be in Pasadena this Saturday, and in a few weeks we'll be in Baltimore for, I believe, the last stop. But kudos to all the organizers that are working so hard on this. Folks like Angela Rye, who's been a leading voice on this. Folks like Ryan Butler, who has been on the ground producing so many of these tour stops across the country. In community, folks like Jeffrey Wallace, the head of Leaders Up. I know he's been working very closely with a number of folks who are part of the LA delegation, including a number of folks with the NAACP, including Dominic Whitehead, among so many other leaders. And so I'm looking forward to being a part of it. I'm even inviting some of my colleagues from Pepperdine University's Graduate School of Education and Psychology to come and participate, come and be a part of the magic. And we'll be sure to share with you any insights gleaned, lessons learned, or any special conversations that we have with folks while we're there. But let me finish with this, because it is time for the quiet part out loud. I'm sure you've noticed rising prices and war rooms and layoffs, but the cost of Trump's tariffs are still coming. Let me explain. Washington Post is reporting that months of trade policy whiplash and ensuing rounds of legal challenges have created uncertainty at every stage of the supply chain. That's according to interviews with over a half dozen business leaders. It's draining resources. It's creating logistical headaches for wholesalers and distributors and retailers during their most critical business period. And if you don't know, you should know that June is the busiest time of the year for freight, partly because companies are moving much of their inventory for back to school and holiday shopping. So instead, when they're normally focused on prepping for their most crucial business period, import-dependent companies are slashing budgets. They're halting investments. They're looking for ways to avoid the steepest duties. Others are watching their inventories dwindle. unsure whether they'll be able to keep their shelves fully stocked. Many are cutting staff and other facets of their operation to stay afloat. This is the real deal. And we ain't really feeling it yet. We ain't feeling it yet. By the time we get to the end of this year, we're going to be feeling something. And so now is the time to sort of lock in and pay attention to what they're doing, because it's going to impact us. If this so-called one big beautiful bill, if the House version passes as is, we're going to feel that. We're going to feel that when it comes to the cost of housing. We're going to feel that when it comes to the cost of healthcare. For those folks like me that have student loans and are repaying your student loans, you're going to feel that, because the Trump administration is looking to remix the student loan program in this country, and so much more, right? I mean, each and every item that I just listed are major expenditures for people. Housing, healthcare, student loans. We haven't even started talking about energy prices. And so don't sleep. Don't sleep. That's all I'm going to say. My thanks to the entire village helps us produce a more perfect union each and every day. We put a lot of work into curating these shows and giving you sometimes up to the minute information that is relevant to your life, to your family's life, to the lives of folks in our neighborhood, folks in our communities. And we're going to keep on keeping on. I'm going to have to leave it there. My thanks to the entire village, as I said, including our executive producer, Tabitha Smiley, our sound engineer, my brother, Andy, to our show producers, Faraji and Art. Thank you, too. And remember, don't panic, organize. Do what you can from where you are with what you have, but by all means, do something. And this Saturday, at the State of the People Power Tour in Pasadena, we're going to be doing all of that together. Because as I've said on this show, and will continue to say on and off air, I think the surest way that we get to the other side of whatever is awaiting us in this moment is together as one community. I truly believe that. You've been listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.